Gentlemen, we're back, and we have 27 junior Micromax drivers. So the grid is as follows: Boris Maximov, Noah Janssen, Albert Friend, Lucas Sal, Kenzo Craigie, Branislav Renka, Uros Bogdanic, Rory Armstrong, Jensen Chalk, Ivan Chanega, Jente Moonen, Vanessa Silkonaite, Majus Mazinas, Lucas Stoder, Vita Koza, Christoph Killer, Boris Verhaag, Oiver Vetenrata, Nikita Zhubimov, Antoine Grisel, Jack Freeman, Felipe Reyes, Marcel Zibo, Didier Krieft, Christian Stefanov, and Liam Sokol. Not too sure where. I think Viti Salmi will be released after the start is given. There is Viti Salmi. So we up things a little bit in terms of the times on the races. 11 minutes plus an additional lap for Micro, Mini and Junior. 14 for the remaining categories. Maximov on pole, Janssen alongside. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. Are we ready? We are off and away and racing. There's a bit of a tussle just behind the front row as they hurtle their way. Albert Friend up the inside in the number 90 to take the lead through turn 2. They can use the runoff area. Boris Maximov in second. Noah Janssen in third, as I think I've just spotted. Kenzo Craigie trying to get through for positioning into turn 3, but gets compromised by another driver firing their way through. There's Lucas Sell. There's now Albert Friend using two wheels on the grass, and it's 4 abreast. I've never seen that down the Europolan. And through into the lead goes Boris Maximov. And there is Albert Friend in second, Noah Janssen third, Lucas Sell in fourth, and there has been absolute pandemonium at turn 7. Multiple carts involved, the number 37 of Christian Stefanov amongst them. Right at the end of the Europolan, as Janssen and Lucas Sell's battling away. Kenzo Craigie ends up going in. And then all of a sudden, it has just literally... the fireworks have been reignited here in the morning at Karting Genk, the home of champions. But Boris Maximov leading the way. Kenzo Craigie musters his way past Lucas Sell going through turn 12. But it's Maximov that leads the way. Friend in second. Janssen. And it's Craigie, Sell, Armstrong, Chalk, Bogdanic, Stoder, Killiard that rounds out the top 10 positions as Lucas Sell gets past Kenzo Craigie. As they make their way through into turn numbers 4, 5, and now into 6. As a pretty good run around there by the 81 of Uros Bogdanic. As Kenzo Craigie back battling away with Lucas Sell, and they have swapped positions for P4. There's still plenty of racing happening at the moment because the number 77 of Majus Mazinas going up the inside of Uros Bogdanic. And there is Jensen Chalk just behind them as they head their way through into turns 11 and 12 here at the track. And some drivers using an aggressive lean strategy going through some of the corners just to get the purchase down on the tarmac with these conditions. But Boris Maximov leads them with 8 1/4 minutes to go. Noah Janssen up into second. Majus Mazinas ahead of Uros Bogdanic. There's Jensen Chalk. There's also the 41 of Christoph Killer from the Czech Republic, who's now got Jente Moonen up the inside. The Belgian in the number 20 through on turn number 4 and gets the job done. Nice work by Jente Moonen up into 11th. Kenzo Craigie back up ahead of Lucas Sell from France, as Boris Maximov has Noah Janssen closing in hand over fist. Boris Maximov has already booked his place to Team Netherlands for Bahrain this year for the Grand Finals. Noah Janssen yet to qualify for the Grand Finals. Kenzo Craigie has already done so. Lucas Sell, I'm not too sure. I think probably hasn't done so. Albert Friend at the sharp end of it has also qualified. But this is still a pretty good tune-up race for these drivers ahead of Bahrain. But at the moment, Maximov sideways coming through turn number 11, and so is Albert Friend. And there goes Noah Janssen up the inside. There's some of the Minimax drivers watching along as they're waiting in the pre-grid. So Lucas L keeping ahead of Kenzo Craigie, but trying to... Oh, there's been a little bit of a touch between a couple of drivers. And oh no, Kenzo Craigie breaks down coming out of turn number 6. And the frustration is clear to see. There's Rory Armstrong in the number 68. Had a lovely catch up with his mum over the last couple of days. And Kenzo Craigie out of the pre-final after what was a fantastic win in the third and final heats yesterday afternoon, winning ahead of Boris Maximov by 18 thousandths of a second. Kenzo Craigie is going to have a severe mountain to climb here at the home of champions. Drivers making their way through into turns 11 and 12. Noah Janssen leads the way. Boris Maximov completes the top 2, and they are covered by less than 6 tenths. Albert Friend from the UK in third. Lucas L in fourth, and now that promotes Majus Mazinas up to P5, as Kenzo Craigie now unfortunately having to watch by the sidelines, the number 44 from the United Kingdom. Jensen Chalk battling away for position, and this is with Branislav Rentka, and that's for 8th place. Good astute awareness there by Chalk going through turn number 4, gets through and stays ahead thus far. And also, I've just had a look at the timing screens, and Branislav Rentka has been given a 5-second time penalty for leaving the tram lines with all 4 wheels. That's a 5-second penalty. And the number 47 is we've had more dramas. More dramas up at turn number 7 off of the Europolan, and with the glare coming off of the tarmac, it is difficult to see who exactly was involved. The other driver that's had a penalty for the start is Ivan Chernega in the 47, leaving the tram lines with 2 wheels. But nevertheless, there is still plenty of this race to go. 4.5 minutes plus an additional lap. Janssen still continuing to lead, but Boris Maximov has absolutely sliced into some part of the lead from it. It was about 9 tenths. It's now 7 tenths, as here are the pair of Majus Mazinas and Uras Bogdanic, and the Lithuanian comes out on top in the 77 going through turn number 3. As more dramas, there's the number 5, Antoine Grissel from France. So a lot of drivers having a bit of a difficult time behind the wheel here. And when the track is very, very damp and slick here at Karting Genk, it can be difficult to get your to keep yourselves calm and composed. But some of the drivers that are doing it are Noah Janssen, Boris Maximov. Kenzo Craigie was doing ever so well until that mechanical retirement. But Rory Armstrong giving good as he can in the number 68, battling away. And there is the number 12 off on the part of the Europolan, and that's Nikita Zhubimov from Estonia out of the kart. And Marshall's on the scene to pull the kart and the driver away to safety. Now Boris Maximov, the gap was 7 tenths of a second. It's now just under 3. So Boris Maximov said in the official press conference that we hosted last night that he was looking to win, even though he has booked his place at Bahrain. But Rory Armstrong having a great battle here with Branislav Rentka. And a bit sideways for Armstrong. Rentka up the inside through turn 3. Armstrong quickly gets behind in the number 68. And now up the inside through into turn number 6. onto the Europlan. A little bit of Tokyo drift going through turn 6 onto the Europlan. Loses the 68 momentum. And Branislav Rentka able to go up the inside to retake the position, but Rory Armstrong back on the counter-offensive through turn 7. Gets through, Rentka round towards the outside. Armstrong using the curbs. It pushes the kart slightly wide. Jensen Chalk trying to chase them down in the number 18 representing the United Kingdom. And again, these two are swapping positions like it's Minimax musical chairs. And Armstrong is towards the outside of the racing line, but still pulls ahead of Rentka. That's a great move from the number 68, but runs wide coming out of turn 10. Rentka's going to get the run on him going through into turn 11. It will be on the outside of the racing line unless he gets ahead. And Armstrong, nevertheless, switches positions again. Great racecraft from these two. Great spatial awareness. So 2 retirements. Kenzo Craigie and Nikita Zhubimov, both representing the United Kingdom and Estonia. And down to 25 drivers still running. We have had a few moments through turn 7 and turn 2, especially during this race thus far. But the way that the way that the grid will be set for the finals later on will be that the results from the pre-final are the grid for the final. As again, Armstrong and Rentka having a great battle here. And one of the things that Rory Armstrong's mum said to me this morning, she said it's so nice because like everyone will come over and just do a bit of a fist bump or a shake of the hand, just say well done, great work. And Armstrong and Rentka, this is one of the best ways of just showing, even with the younger drivers, they are providing one hell of a great battle. And Rentka and Armstrong are making this one an exemplary one at that. So 35 seconds to go. Rentka back up the inside of Armstrong going through turn number 11 and gets the move done. That is still for P7, but Armstrong could have another go up the inside of turn 12. And the 68 goes through once again. But the leaders now are within a kart length of each other. Lucas Seller's not too far behind. Albert Friend rounds out the top 4. But Noah Janssen leading the way. Goes a little bit wider than Boris Maximov going through into turn 5, but they start both using the same sort of line, but Boris Maximov gets a little bit tighter in towards the apex of turn 6, looking for the inside through into the Europlan, switches through onto the outside of turn 7 to get a real good run of momentum into turn 8. And Lucas Sell is now with them. Timer has struck 0 here in Micromax for the pre-final. And next time around they will get the last lap board, and that will give Boris Maximov the opportunity he needs. So the point system will work on 25 points for a win. As Lucas Sell looking up the inside of Boris Maximov, and Sells goes sideways. Maximov manages to get past and stay ahead at this moment. Top 15 do score points, but on to the final lap. Noah Janssen leads the way. Boris Maximov, Lucas Sell, Albert Friend. That's your top 4 positions. It's a lengthy wait until 5th comes around, and who's going to be leading that one? It is Majos Mazinas ahead of Uros Bogdanic and Branislav Rentka. Rory Armstrong in 8th. Ivo Vetenrata in 9th. Jensen Chalk representing the United Kingdom completes the top 10. Vanessa Silconati, Marcel Zibo, Lucas Soda, and Felipe Reyes with Victor Cosa rounding out the 15 that will score points. And what can happen is that if you win in the pre-final and you finish 2nd in the final, and the other driver that finishes 2nd in the pre-final but wins the final is declared the winner because it's the most recent highest result that is taken into consideration on countback. So through we go, and Maximov trying to push the envelope alongside Janssen as they're going to go through into the final corner. Switch back from Boris Maximov right on cue, but Janssen back up the inside. Checkered flag's going to be waving, and it's going to be a photo finish. It is Boris Maximov by 16 thousandths of a second that wins the Micromax pre-final here at Karting Genk, and boy is he happy about it. He got the run on Janssen as another drag race. This is going to be for 5th place, and it's going to go to Branislav Rentka by 25 thousandths of a second. 2 positions decided by thousandths. That's how close it can be coming out of turn 12. But Boaz Maximov from the Netherlands, jubilant, euphoric, and happy chappy is that young man, that young Dutch driver. That pips Kenzo Craigie's winning margin on Boaz Maximov by 2 1,000ths from yesterday in Heat 3. So the first of 6 pre-finals now concluded. Boaz Maximov wins it ahead of Germany's Noah Janssen. So let's have a look at the rest of the results. So Boaz Maximov wins by 16 thousandths of a second ahead of Germany's Noah Janssen. Ahead of Lucas Sell from France, who rounds out the top 3. Albert Friend, Majus Mazinas rounds out the top 5, ahead of Uros Bogdanic. Rory Armstrong, Oiva Vetanrata, Jensen Chalk, Branislav Rentka, Vanessa Silkonaite, Marcel Zibo, Lucas Stoda, Vitor Koza, Felipe Reis, Christoph Killer, Boris Verhaag. We've got Jente Moonen, Christian Stefanov and Jack Freeman rounding out the top 20. Ahead of Didier Krieft, Antoine Grisel, Viti Salmi, Ivan Chernega, Liam Arsbeck, Sokol, Nikita Zhubimov and Kenzo Craigie, the latter 2 unfortunately retiring from the race.